All right, we're going to start this one with the first mentioning of Ezra in the book of Ezra, starting at chapter 7, verse 1. Now after these things, in the reign of the Artaxerxes, king of Persia, Ezra the son of Sarai, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah, Ezra 7:6. This Ezra, who was the watch cut off person's head, went up from Babylon, and he was a ready scribe in the law of Moses, which the Lord, Yahweh, the work spirit, capture spirit, God, the El spirit, Yam, the bull deity that leads spirit to make chaos, of Israel, which is to make consume person's head messenger, had given the king, granted him all his requests according to the hand of the Lord Yahweh and his God Elohim upon him. Whereupon the first day of the first month began he to go up from Babylon, and on the first day of the first month came he to Jerusalem according to the good hand of El Spirit Yam, the bull deity that leads spirit to make chaos upon him. Chapter 7, verse 10. For Ezra, the watch cut off person's head, had prepared his heart to seek the law of the Lord, which is the work spirit, the capture spirit, and to do it and to teach it in Israel, which means to make consume person's head messenger, the statutes and judgments. Here, Ezra is shown to be a messenger. Ezra 7:11 to 7:18. It's important that Ezra is shown to be a messenger because this shows the name Israel. Because we have Ezra, which is the watch cut off person's head, which is the person, but then the person is also a messenger, which makes the complete Israel, which is the same transliteration of this Israel. But it's done in the writings of Ezra by telling a story, and the story is of Ezra being a form of messenger. So Ezra is a messenger. Ezra is the watch cut off person's head, and he's a messenger. So he's the watch cut off person's head messenger, or as the mystic type people, the Jewish mysticism type people, they call him Azrael. Actually, they call her Azrael. They actually decided to call it a female. I don't know if this is ever particularly said that Ezra is a male or a female, but judging by the position, a person would say that this Ezra was a male. But the Jewish mystics, they're Israel, they're Azariel, the angel of death, they say is a female. Does it really matter? I suppose not. But let's continue on. Unto Ezra, the watch cut off person's head, the priest, which is the Kohen, to cover revealing activity. That is the purpose of the Kohen. The Kohen is the cover-up person. Covers the revealing activity. However they do it, I don't know. They got some kind of hand tricks and saying stuff and whatever it is that they do. I don't know exactly what the Kohens did then, but their job, their position, their name says what they're supposed to be doing is cover the revealing activity. Well, such as this particular book, the scribes covered over the revealing activity in the translations. So let's continue on, but I'll start back at the beginning here. At the beginning of Ezra 7:11. We're going to go 7:11 through 7:18. Now this is the copy of the letter that the king Artaxerxes gave unto Ezra, who was the watch cut off person's head, the priest, who is the Kohen that covers the revealing activity, and the scribe, which is the one who turns the speech person. That's exactly what I was just describing to you. That in these writings that we see today, And I'm sure it wasn't just today, it was back then, but it tells there, it instructs there, that the watch cut off person's head, in this case, is also a Kohen that covers the revealing activity and turns the speech person. Are you getting it? I hope so. Alright, continue on. Even a scribe, the turned speech person, of the words of the commandments of the Lord, who is the work spirit, capture spirit, of his statutes to Israel, which means to make consume person's head messenger, which is brainwashing. And like we were just discussing here, that this brainwashing is being done through language, an altering of language by the turned speech person, and the Kohen is doing it to cover the revealing activity. And in this case, it is one single person or entity or thought, which is to watch cut off person's head. So watching cut off the person's head, the person is also a priest or becomes a priest, which means they're covering the revealing activity, and it turns the speech of the person. Got it? Ezra 7:12. Artaxerxes, king of kings, unto Ezra, watch cut off person's head. The priest, the Kohen, to cover the revealing activity. A scribe, to turn the speech person. Of the law of who? Allah. Again, it's Allah. This is what this second building of the temple was. It was built to Allah, and there were a lot of people murdered at the dedication of this temple to Allah. And it says of heaven, which means sky, perfect peace, and at such a time I make a decree that all they of the people of Israel and his priests and Levites in my realm, which are minded of their own free will to go up to Jerusalem and go with thee, for as much as thou art sent of the king and of his 7 counselors to inquire concerning Judah and Jerusalem according to the law of, again, Allah, which is in thine hand, and to carry the silver and gold which the king and his counselors have freely offered to Allah. Now, how could these people, these Jewish people nowadays, with good conscience and honesty, actually have the audacity to say that the temple, or nowadays it's a mosque, that place is not supposed to be for Allah, because it was their own people who built a place for Allah, and they built the place for the cutoff spirit, to watch the cutoff spirit. And that's exactly what we're seeing in this group known as ISIS that they want to bring forward. There is no doubt that those people would love to take over Jerusalem and start right back where where Ezra left off, the book of Ezra left off. No doubt about it, because that's what it's all about. Alright, here we go. Ezra 7:16. And all the silver and gold that thou canst find in all the province of Babylon, with the freewill offering of the people and of the priests offering willingly for the house of Allah, which is in Jerusalem, that thou mayest buy speedily with this money bullocks, which are the covenant captured people, rams, which are the enter blessing people, and lambs, which are the deity chaos people, with their meat offerings and their drink offerings, and offer them upon the altar of the house of Allah, which is in Jerusalem. And whatsoever shall seem good to thee and to thy brethren to do with the rest of the silver and the gold, that do after the will of Allah. Let's back up a minute here, because this is a new video. Some people may not have seen it. I was looking at some of the pictures that I had to show that the names that had become bullocks and rams and lambs are actually people because in the pictograph of the words, the very last thing is a human head in the pictograph series, which indicates people, not animals. But the bullocks, just for your own reference, is Hebrew word H8450. For rams, it's H1798. And for lambs, it's H563. Ezra 7:21. And I, even I, Anthrax as king, do make a decree to all the treasures which beyond the river, that whatsoever Ezra, the watch cut off person's head, the priest to cover the revealing activity, the scribe to turn the speech person of the law of Allah of the sky shall require of it to be done speedily. I'm going to stop here for a minute again. Now the word translated that came through as heaven, which I just said sky, is H8065. And the reason I decided to stop here and mention this is I just thought for a moment. There's a book known as Serpent in the Sky, where the Egyptians, they didn't really believe that there was a snake in the sky, but there was the spirit of duality in the sky. And that's why I guess it's kind of important to say that this word that was translated as heaven actually meant sky, because they claimed and they thought that there was this atmosphere of duality, which that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about an atmosphere of duality. But there's further confirmation in the writings when these writings were actually about the sky, not about a mystical place known as heaven. All right, Ezra 7:24-26. Also, we certify you that touching any of the priests and Levites, singers, porters, Nethinims, or ministers of this house of Allah, which is the bull deity messenger spirit, it shall not be lawful to impose toll, tribute, or custom upon them. And thou, Ezra, the watch cut off person's head, after the wisdom of Allah that is in thine hand, set magistrates and judges which may judge all the people that beyond the river, all such as know the laws of Allah, and teach ye them that know them not, and whosoever will not do the law of Allah, the deity, the bull deity messenger spirit of the law of the king, let judgment be executed speedily upon him, whether unto death, or to banishment, or to confiscation of goods, or to imprisonment. I'm going to end this video here because we've got a new section to start.